All right, bari we are coming into the conversations proper. So, the government has arrested Kemo, Omar Saibo, and Aliu Banning, another person that I did not know. So clearly, the other person was not involved in anything that has to do with government and what is going on in the Gambia. But clearly, we know the president has no constitutional right whatsoever to just go and fire, or let's say now fire, the auditor general. And even the attempt of putting the auditor general into or enticing him with another position is in itself a corrupt practice that the government was trying to do. Now, the whole point now becomes that there is a group, that calls themselves whatever. They existed since 2017. Why then Gambia, that anything that has to do with accounting government must come through them. And if it does not, then it's nothing that anybody should go to. Now, since the rise of Gala, that has caused a lot of pain to these people. And that is why when issues of, Pura came up, they stepped up. And then for them, it's about them. It's never about the Gambia. Now, what these folks are doing, because young people are mobilizing to be out tomorrow to show their dissatisfaction on everything that has happened. They are busy calling people, telling them not to go there. Ayen team comes in bopa. Yen no land the oye nyinyi di len wax ne bu len fa dem. You think we don't know what's going on? Ngo atol be janne kabirin 2017. Atol ye muna keno nyimbankoka. Gala nara, they're trying to bring about meaningful change and of course accountability to the government. Lolo mo lan di nahari. To a point that you have the audacity to go and sit at the station talking shit about people that are in prison. To the point you have the audacity to even be calling people on the ground, telling them, oh, tomorrow, 10 o'clock, don't go and meet them at the National Youth Council. Don't do this, don't do that. Gamiangol. Allah jata balbulu. You can sacrifice Kemo today, but tomorrow Kemo will come out. And we have everything and anything to propel and, of course, to get to the next level in life. Mamo koten londe. But Kemo fati ngo londe. Because over Sanjay Tang wala mintambira wala ntenu mira dukwala. Amanke famfori ntolonga kuno mfango yala mimmanke bid, and we don't even care about if there is a protest or somebody goes hungry in the Gambia or something is happening. Ngala tentu wala loko, without even talking about anything Gambia, Kemo is good. I had just told Kemo after this last whatever, come on, come down to America, spend some time and do whatever you gotta do. Because, ikam ini mwalebe kukono mi yalonko imanke samuta nyolti. Mokende jiko tela, ibuka kukendeke, ibuka akinga niola. They will push you until you get to a point because to see your downfall, or they will go back and sit in their corner and say, and that's exactly what they are doing now. But Go, Gala, we submit to you. We believe in your ideas. I don't believe in anything that has to do with You cannot be going out there talking shit about our people. Please, you got to stop calling me. I got to speak out because I don't care about whatever you people care about. That's not me. I operate differently. And then funding ke lalka ho mine ko Kemo dindi ngol mobilize wo dindi ngol be findila sama kaje ka tandi ko moro mbenna balamba ya tandi ko tilimbaliani intajidinti yani mansa kundala kuria, and then trying to actually manipulate everything in this country cannot continue. It cannot be normalized in this country. And kon gom so bopa yen munulen dara si lolu. So busy yourself calling people everywhere, telling them not to come because you want to sabotage Gala, you want to sabotage Kemo. You would go to the station pretending that you care about them when you are actually sitting in that station talking shit about them and calling people on the ground, telling them that, no, Gala does not consult us. We are not coming to the protest tomorrow. Mane bokulen, nopilen, tielen, and whatever in your houses. We don't care about you. But some of you, bundon jaflanda nyun hamun na yen dolen nyinyu ba. Mokende jiko talla atol lafta so boy life lala. You want to see me and you want people mobilizing their resources and giving it to you. Ñun doxé wuñu nonu. Ben tol manké mo si falté dé. Gis nga ñun luñ gom dañ ci dembe jeex. Bu ci dé mo ci téggu sa ñu dembe dé. Wata galankol momo mi yalanko, you believe in the ideas of accountability. You believe in genuinely making sure that the Gambia goes forward. You are not doing it to be seen. You are not doing it for a so boy life. You are not doing it for another cause. You got to be there and make sure that you defend these folks. But the Gambian call like Nina Juna, because imagine some of these folks were in prison. Kemo actually had to step off our jobs. All the work we got to do, all the projects we got going. He got to suspend all that. Come out to Westfield to say, "Ko anye mulu bula nalme bula ntabola jam funding kele fada je tep for mansakunda ya atol bula. Mansakunda ya atol bula atol ka murumbi atol ka ko wolle dato jowya atol ka ta si police station ne ko kuma tilimbalo folmo atol ka molle kol duma ka fole ko sumal kana findi kado nyini bukela ku fontole. Inyanta mona folali. For minute findira no mola ka ku fole. Moro, ne atala Gambia yan Gambia ngen gis. You would wait for somebody to tell you as if we are not seeing what is going on. You have not seen the Auditor General being picked from his office and of course forced out of his office. Atol nyamoji. Woma atol karandi kula. Luaya la ninyama aliaje ko masakunda be tapale ala ka mo ko we are going to give you a ministerial position maybe tomorrow just to fire him because they want to put a thief as Auditor General. Woma atol sula woma ke kuti mi atol dimal nya alu baji ya chika ka jurma moto ko ne bina mo tekatila. Obe ma atol sula fatol kata police station ka fo ko wolafta alinje kulla. Moro billah wala atol le jow yatan baro ni wo police ol fangoti man bara fondin ke la batol le bul silang so ma betu atol le bulu bo len toge sen kir ñu xamne gom sa bopam ñoo mom deka bi bu de nak da ngeen gom ne deka bi dañ ko wara tek ci yoon du nañ xam tamit no lo len di woné bara lal fangotandi en sara dingol kanati ne kanake molde mi yalon ko le ba falato le be min kera e kanake molde min yalon ko to le be da sila ka ko nga faale le maje min keta bar kabiri to mo tajam molle findida ni aje ke moni wodi non mo dato la ko lat ne wol mo da bara say ntamantan dala fon ke la to la ko na diatal ye mi ngomi bal fejal taw bonni nyoto bare nyimmu kula de mi yalon ko Gambia dinkendo be nyanta jela la ko sama mo be finti ya tandi ko moro yo almanta mo la dula tel almanta fem for kala balamba ya tandi ko mimbe kere na banko kan the infringement on our our constitution and of course the deliberate attempt to remove forcefully the Auditor General is unlawful and is not right. Imagine being Multara National Assembly Kavoko Jojo Lajo, they are going to backdate it, they are going to retrospectively apply it because they have already been paying them things that are not approved in the National Assembly. Gambia, marabare amran tolbe banku kamba. Eka amara banku luantang, eka amara ko we live in a jungle. That for people to come out to talk about the realities in our country, you have few people, mean by jumpla, because some people have to raise some money for them and give it to them to tell people that no bull and them need and they don't involve us in their press statement. Our names need to come first, our names need to come last. Who the hell are you people that your name need to come first or last? Yana inyan, I don't kana muli yabu fango man. But Allah nyimbe mukule de mi yalon ko ameta altole almeta kumandiro kala mol bukal danko ndokere ngol naran nang this gala everybody is listening to them because they stood up at the right time and of course they are fighting a genuine cause oba kuyata to le nyaadi ni ata to be minto wala muto nyaati bara gamien ko nyama made gala dana ma wuli ka fo mole ko al go fon mi Kenya wala al ketende no bara mol ya jele ko nyinum molle te mi yalon ko be kula kele ka mi yalon gon tol be la so man fala be jan people subscribe to those ideas and ideals and you cannot be the people instead of working hand in hand you are trying to undermine those people calling people underground ka folo kwal kanad bar kabiri atol muta molle findi tatol ye ya hada man wala diko jow ya na la daji kanta yaje bara gambian ko lun ka la jata balbul. If tomorrow you actually sit at home to say, you know what, let the government do whatever it wants to do, kon benga mulo la nyoka masakunda min diate do iko okay na diate fo kan kam na suwol kon kan karate no problem why ku kile ngolonde. Kemo will never be a sacrificial lamb for any gomsa bopa shit. Go gomsa bopa alalbe kafun ni nyoka Kemo dama wala barakatal ndala ngaf ya moy alka kuma tilimbalo fo min alka rasi min ka tokuya koku dulen musa tontu de waye ngeen xamne Kemo operates in two human forms. There is a very soft Kemo that operates right there with you and there is a different Kemo who can actually match your kind of attitude. Alka alfa le balo firin mo le balo firin daldi al tilimbal ya bul al Kemo kendoldi kada mani way ka kende yale ka daji ka kendo la sodo bayi len ñi di len wax lo xamantene du de amanke ku kende di kada mani way ka daji ka kendo la sodo atol ka pretend as if you even care about the Gambia but some of you really don't. Atol la mol min fon di yaay ka dani underground alka ka refay baroy because na pare fa atol man la fenna alka ku ke do alka ke kula kamma hey alka na tina molinga diamal ngal tol kumani. Some of you actually we interacted in some WhatsApp groups amani nya ndala badatal di badadro no bala firum ntolle balo firindal di to nyamo kilina tabu ke fula atol kal fon ko janda atol ko jara mun tol al ko jara mun tol police ol kamini nyafu bulo kilin ke jolom moto ko atol ko jara mun tol moro al nga ñoo horma nga ñoo buña mine kelo kato le pour yatol bonni nam prison biatol kal ko lekele bada min fon kala mo de kal nyafu kal dundi je biatol ko le sembentu ya o datol lata manara But those young people, you think that they're kids that Kemo is picking? We are calling on all those young people to be out there and, of course, to believe in the fact that every Gambian, irrespective of your, denomination politically or socially or whatever group you associate with, if you care about justice, you care about accountability, you care about, the right things to be done, you care about due process, you should be out there to flag it red for the government that what you are doing is wrong and, of course, should not be anything that any genuine Gambian should, of course, tolerate. And whatever Gomsa Bopa believe in, let them go and do that. But no, by la fair musia da ñu wako ci suuf man awma dara luma wax ci suuf musuma askane ak ñooñu musuma am luma wax ak ñooñu. So but if they have the guts and audacity gis nga ni moye horma ye buñay ay ko ni kuto funto e sio to ye ka lotu ay bari ñini ma ñalong because man kala mu day tol yamra fengo be muy tolleti kulubali ya kensen na le kulubali ya kensen tan ni mo lamba kulubali ya ju kensen wala tan ni la ndol la balo firin dalti just like I said albe jane kabrin 2017 alde na mamo ndol ngakuma falla kudo alnana mamo nga fale ko albe nyimina tenga kereten alnana mamo yalla mutan nara jenga kuma tilimbalo falma alnana mamo ye kuka la mi yalon ko moli afu ko ha wala bete ataldo nimma woli nan kana kelo katolier na moro na la julotan dollam dolla julota tolla nan la julota kemo la julota la kado kemo ya ay nyinya do ne tanda tolla ka kelo katolier kelo dronga wala kali kaje ko allafta min nyanda kala banko kan tilmanin to nya way tamaje bandol man ka toltide ndol buka mojo jowyala and that is exactly what he's going to do. He doesn't care what you people are talking about him or whatever you are going to say next tomorrow. All he cares about is to do the right thing irrespective of who benefits from it. So because tomorrow these people are actually calling people on the ground to boycott, to do whatever. You people got to know that these folks went to jail for the greater good of this country, and it becomes a collective responsibility to stand with them. To stand with them against the people who think that they are stealing their soul and they want them to die or in jail. Very different, very rotten in the inner core. So the communication, we will hijack it from the diaspora because in-house, if you want to say anything, they will come and arrest you. But the fact of the matter is that young people will come out tomorrow to show their dissatisfaction on the principle that the government of the Gambia, in its form and shape, has no audacity, shouldn't have any audacity to even try to entice the Auditor General with another position. That in itself is wrong. Again, to come out to tell us that, oh, he accepted and later declined. Where is his acceptance letter? Source. Now, Aman Soto. You can tell me something here, okay, and you think that is an agreement. When you give me the formal letter, I actually write to reject it the next day. That is formality. That is how government works. Government work on papers. Government does not work on, central bank which is not right. It should be on paperwork. You told this guy that, oh, we want you to do this. He might have been ashamed to tell the president this and outright you cannot even tell the president in his face, no, I don't want your position. He might say yes, and then when the letter comes formally, you can say no, because in the first place, the government or the president should not in any way, should not even try to actually entice the Auditor General with another position. Gambia be kulluhum adolma mo ko danje minsa keno minister of trade nin tapaliya nin tilimbalia tal kala because ale sunyaro men kenyim banko kala na tambital alla mansa kundade mi ya sunyaro ke Gambia sunyaro mi yalon kala na tambita min na manke o banko ka mansa kunda minga ni so wafu keme konondola ni yalon ko subo kilo fula tambita keme konondola. So you will do everything possible to remove the Auditor General because you know all the evil that is happening in this regime. And and the only way to manipulate through the laws is to say, oh, we are giving you a promotion. If you had taken that promotion, you moved to that ministerial role, then they will criminally connive and frame you, put you in jail. Because jamaa be kono pour que la tilimbali yale lanke na mai wolbe borka walla ibe nyimpala so dile la mi yalon ko baro can hire and fire you, but the Auditor General, he cannot hire and fire like that. So he wanted to entice you, and even if you had verbally agreed and the next minute you think around it and you realize that no, this is not a good decision, when they send you the letter, you decline the offer. That is very simple. I had just an interview with a heavy civil engineering company. Probably, they send you an offer, you look at it and you like, and in the interview, you would say, yeah, I want it. But when you look at the offer, this is not what I want. You decline it. But in the interview, you said, yeah, you want the position. But when you look at the offer, you will respectfully decline it. But they will not compel you that no, but Kabin interview like Sondale. So Muna Nasaiba Balanamoro. Ngamin for verbally does not stand. It's the paperwork. When you send me the official, document and I look at it, and then it is actually said in those documents, accept the offer within 14 days or decline it. For the offer. So I decline. So why would you already put somebody there? Another tilimbalian in Tapalia mantra masakunda. Nino masakunda kuruma na mansoro. But in wrong, we are going to depend on the court system. But the Jojo will lay a phone jo. Kakumasi ke phone jo code la mi along among approved National Assembly. Now they even went there to say that they want to apply that retrospectively. It's not to retrospectively apply it as in they are going to pay them the previous months. They have already been paying them months without even the approval from the National Assembly. That in itself is enough for people to storm that National Assembly and tell them Bataraya al Dankala. That's the point. Y'all gotta stop calling me, please, for God's sake. I'm gonna talk to you later. Moro, albelala kukirinala, ninda kombe mimfola momo kunodo. You gotta let me speak first. You gotta let me finish. Stop it. So wala mkudi mi yalon ko mbe nyabala. Sa ye mola muta wol kono inada nyinko do ke nyafala office kono. Gambia be nyabala. Dunia be nyabala. Mole finde ka ko alba nyimina tentilo woni to nyante modo le finde ka ko wol be to la sola steel kam. Adol tamun sola de mobe min steel kam. Ay ñom Killa is yen mënu leena tok sen kër ngeen di dem be si station bi di wax you can hamu dina ne ñimbol that Aliuba went to Kenya, he just came back, he want to steal the show. Kemo mom a guy mini they had this movement then fogg ne kirib karab yen nekk ngeen fi ka bi 2017 fan ngeen toj alma mol dandi tol man ke sada dingol ti dem mo buka fenko ken dol de ka fo ñaay go fon mi ken dol de ni sula da million wala bi so ma mbala ni la tabulo kanal kana mol yab Allah kulubali aldandula kala wadon be Gambian kul be kumandila kajo ko these people they cannot succeed in what they want. You people better just let us. Na bol tana fen ko le yol sorong yol muraje boy dol ka fendi ka fole ko ni laftan dol la solo stilla ikete ne kere ka kuma tilimbalo fol mama nyen Killa is nala nyum boy nol ndamala nyum ngom sa boba sifa bandal barada ni mol
Okay.
boss
Yeah.
boss gira mbol ka mol wairin le
No, all of us still understand, all of us still understand because of that rhetorics, that remarks, made by Killa and then the core.
And how can you even go to a police station to be
It's sad.
talking shit about Kemo
It's
that way?
sad. It's
Talking
sad. It's
shit
sad.
about more media what
Yeah,
exactly is that?
it's heartbreaking. Regardless. Kabri yenyi mutanunja last time na Kemo na Kemo. Yeah. This is it's a sad moment for the youth. It's a sad moment for activism fraternity in the Gambia. I think if brothers are in need, they are in brothers indeed. Definitely, when Kemo went to High Africa and interviewed Jay, despite people have an assumption that these people have to take a permit for a protest, at some degree, but he defend them to the core. He tell those people that look, regardless, akere nyawonya, mo nyana lola na galafasa akere nyawonya. So, if some people among them, we can find it
No,
now.
it's not. This is not Gala. There is a difference between Gala and Gomsab. Gomsab has a problem. They have a problem of identity. They have a problem of we are the ones. We are the ones that need to be seen. We should be the face of this. Any other group, they have a problem even with Gala having some press statements of how it is written, where they are positioned. These people have a problem with everybody except themselves. What is the problem? Itani
This is sad.
morning baby Gambia la quote. Adol kamula albo kumo sifa be fola wala munti.
Yeah, this I even remember. I even remember.
People are not telling them the truth. But I'm for that temple to me along on him to Adam Baro and Bartla. Why yo?
Yeah. I think Killa made the same assertion. I mean, Kabiri mo follow ni mutan on the first protest mingara. Jani bida second protest. A all kind of findi. Ni fini that I be mutan and stuff like that. So I think he need to be cautious with his wordings because ni Kemo, model Bavakan Kemo and others are doing this to get public attention, which is not true. We all know who is Kemo and what he has been standing for. Exactly.
Amga. So come ibuka jutu mola but Killa nintolbe lola mundola ngavo ko kombe attention nyinola. More attention.
Exactly.
Ani music kemelula la, you know, isa mol kumani ndonga mol kumani mote jela. Yo ebe kuma tilimbalo fala mon. Mol horoma ya mol bunya.
It's sad.
You know?
It's sad. It really shocked me.
Iman danka ka kuma tilimbalo fala suwo fankon. Ba fo egara si police station to wolbe sorondin daming. Alka kuma tilimbalo fo maje. Fo nyimboli lafta manala silang.
It's sad.
If they
It's
want to
sad.
be confrontational, let's get it confrontational.
In fact, you gotta make sure that Pulka Nongole Finidang, you talk to them, but going outright against them, that is it's
And
too
the
much.
folks think that no, let's put it on. We are not brushing it on the carpet. These people are even busy calling people so for them it's like they are in a competition with Gala and of course the folks that are in detention. Boy moro, Jowiya Dandula be multi. Oh, you're doing for them, yen hamgen some of you are on the bail, kirip karap. And Akemo is not on the bail.
Yeah, he's going to
But
report his
when
own
these
defense.
people were forced actually arrested and they were all put in prison, we have a lot of projects going on. At some point, I told some of our staff, this came out detained today, tomorrow release from we do what we do. But we cannot do that because this is our country. He went and defended these boys, stood at Westfield for several hours. People came there, they ensured that these people were released.
Yeah, the
You know?
energy was so real. The energy was so real, bro.
But ita findi nam bi boy yo wal muta ita man kuma nyi ñaar fam fono woto fa ita ka muri ita ka fo ko wal lafte atol la solo still la fa ro ka mol kol duma ka fo le ko kana na wodi la modo
Ako so still. I mean,
ala
it's so ridiculous.
Gambia no problem obe moldi. It's always about man la, it's about me, it's about the ita malam fa ñi fam ka mo so kula fam fo jam man dol la hajle be so kula fam do.
It's not a boy. It's not a back. It's not a back.
So those are the things. So mol ka min fo ka mol ko man lon ka je ko so ma tilimbali amin be Gambia ya lo ngani fo ite la wolo ko nyima sakunda aman jari hani so ma fam la.
Yeah.
You see what they are doing? Imagine paying judges money that was never even approved in the National Assembly. Where is the respect for due process? Where is the respect for due process? Where imagine you go to you come be like this country. Let's say if you go have a job interview, they ask you want the job, right? Yeah, you want the job.
You offer sending a letter.
They send you an offer, you look at the offer, you offer you may favor, what do? You decline respectfully.
You decline it, yeah.
For ibina police wala fela na ye chika ye buy for say bondi be do kula dami.
It has never happened in that way.
The power to. So the president does not have any right whatsoever to remove, this guy. But they wanted to entice the guy to actually, because he cannot mean keje wale kodo sunya gau fajang. Another si jang, kodo kela bunga haina. Mbaro. Ndabuka waro jani. Mbaro ngata ndila, You know.
Yeah. So
kodo kela bunga haina jana tongkongo jana. You understand me? So you kodo ken to be lifiring jana, you fenge kino ko you kodo kelle, ya jamela jim jang, e tilimbali ya beke, gaufa. Ibora nanje, inara nang Gambia nyuma sakunda kono because ni sankare nara katara siri nyimbu kono jang. Some of the others government machinery mini alon ka tu hulia fola mon la banko kam. Wala mo de mini alon ko ila nyin cabal, that criminal cabal, these criminals. Ida male nyoko na pour kana mon la masakunda ron. You want to make that person auditor general of our country? And people me along ko wala pass the madam so disgusting and terrible.
Yeah.
What has this guy done wrong? His only wrong is but I tell us Sonta Balanda Moro. When you gave him the formal document that authenticates in Sonta wala mansong atandi jela ka mansong.
Yeah,
So whatever he had agreed on verbally, that is not our business.
Exactly.
And again, when the president, decided to run for 5 years, he was following the constitution. That the coalition agreement was just mere agreement. That is not the constitution, right?
There is no evidence.
So in this case, I take a form appoint that Hanson Talapurian appoint. That is constitutional.
No.
You
need to consider the job offer. Even here in America, the same thing happened. You got to interview. Interview paper they can fine. You're gonna send you job offer, so you're gonna approve it. So you're gonna actually accept it or not.
And even in the Gambia, they give you an offer letter to accept within for 14 days long. I don't remember, but you have to accept it within 14 days or so. That you have to write back to say you accept. You reject it.
Yeah. Right.
So why would you force somebody to accept your ministerial role? That you forcefully went to his office to remove him. Alko mota fem follow Gambia for the temple to me along ko mota fem follow. And me ya for a minute for model ye from employee ko it all multi million dafola. Nitol ma for mokote manya nafola. Nitol data minto romo da manya natalawot.
It's not a back. Right now your brothers are in incarceration and comrades
and then you had nothing in your mind. It man fence to reduce of phone hani man nyari of phone of phone.
These are comrades.
But the fuck I see what the phone ka kuma tilimbalo for man. Bandanga yaran da meda nyum fola Kemo ele. Modo be you know not ndongo ate I didn't fata do back. Ate he believes in everybody. He gives you the benefit of the doubt. That's how clean the young man is. You know, more anidel nara be after no kiku bah like I can be very, you know, receptive about a lot of things. But for him, it's like, ah, boy, you take a cool beje nyamin kay moro. Modol beje, boy, jefflente ak ñu ngay bay hell. Ega harama do koros like, you harama do koros. For him, everybody's as good as him, which is not the case. And he will genuinely defend you, which is the best character that anybody can have. Moy finti boy, moro, look. Instead of dollar talk, wall min beje, way or bula jay, bola officers are on to go and protest for you to be released. Yal mu day bal samba kan kiti wala ka be da National Assembly ka protest katoli. Yol mu daw silo fon karol fon ka findal ka ko muna na ko di ngol mobilize ka dawoto. Boy moro yo ya danta wala fon do ma.
No, that's so hypocritical.
Even Barrow will not say that.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm telling you, even Barrow will not say that.
It's high time we put our hearts together as young people, as young folks.
No. I don't you know, let me be honest with you. I don't believe in this young people put their house together. Moro, ninte buñ amé luñ gom and then we are together in it. I believe in you.
We die together.
I believe in Bolo. Boy, guys na pako yo hamantene they will go to these meetings and underground it all like information on the mass.
And the same thing happened with Saibo and the comrades. Like Saibo, the revolutionists,
but they were not talking about just Kemo or Aliuba. It's Kemo Aliuba ni Saibo wale mutoko. So ni toltara si police station lebo kuma tilimbalo fala Aliuma, iba kuma tilimbalo fala Kemo. Ita sa iman Saibo tuje.
Yeah.
But alta will sacrifice lade. Nyenkelo man kumas van follow. Nyum mansa kunda be tilimbali ya minna moro molu be fola le bi ba fola le sama. And we hope that the opposition political parties in the Gambia come out. You know, ibe findi nankajo ko moro tilimo ninto nyata tama mola bankoka. And because these politicians too would all sit back, didn't wale keloka buruka tonya ni tilimo tama ni tol nara nandro yafo ko ai tol le betale eta enjoys. Hey, foningel. Na do that.
So I have that was my argument. That was my argument.
That political ale keloke pour banko e bonin tiro toro kono. Na la pare dal fangole si ale banko tilindi siloka.
That was my argument with them because Mimbiye, all the fact that these young people, all the fact that they are doing for opposition at some point because they take the credit at the end of the day, right? So I mean, even if you are doing protest, you need to have a leader. You need to have a real leader who is going to actually lead you people, and then you can advocate for somebody. But if you are doing all this job, at the end of the day, the same opposition are going to come up against you.
And better la serious wo kono mota findle be nya kazi ko mantra moy kay mantra je kan tilimbal yani taji ndia mbe molla bankoka fo ningele finde kelo sifa be ke se bute se sorong ni pare de dole nana ya ko okay dole masa kundata la mo manta o kala moy jam ko adiara kemole adiara tolle we are coming into the politics and then we will associate with people we believe can bring about meaningful change in that country. And then this whatever gom Allah tamina Allah al fangol ha wadal kana kuma fo moma Allah dal fangol al findal fangol bawal ko so matol da findila mbaje la fo atolle sembo so do banko kam bawal ka molle kol du mal ka fo ko kana findi Allah ta ke mo nyole to surrounding moro me nyoje la banko kan. That is the point. That is their intent, so that those folks can remain in jail. And it's always about, a so boy thing. It's always about Gislen. It's always about Ntolom. It's always about go create a GoFundMe for us. It's us. We are the people. Mane, gom len sen bopa ñun gom nañ suñu bopa bala ñuy tuddé suñu bopa ay lenen fum ne ni suñu boy we will stand for them and we will stand by them and we call on the public to come out and make sure that the truth and justice actually prevails because ye ñi system mbonni je ndefanteng mbadinteng namonteng na hajita kan ni ajo salary la buka dintela but we know that he is occupying a position that definitely iba bondi kan je nyama mantra amanke tilingo ni toñat anu ngara no ko masakunda be tapale ya ko le to ko anu manya na sonna ka Gambia dinkilinje masakunda ba torande kan tapale ya ni tilimbali yakan mo be tara siri be deri mo be toña fo ka wodo dol ko e findini ndumala ka ko aninta ma fo mo manya na fo la fay tol don jumalti to wodo Gambia ko la fintinu ka je ko toña sabati.
No, what Madi said is the right thing. I mean, opposition, but these young folk need to be very mindful with oppositions or politicians to be more precise. Because all the fight that they are doing, at the end of the day, they're going to actually benefit out of this. Because you can see genuinity in his voice, making sure that these young folk go back to their family. And he stood firm.
Some boy, you know what?
Yeah.
Pack your luggage and come. We do what we got to do out here. Who cares?
No, he's not going to do it. I mean, he really loves the country.
We have a lot of things that are out. So do be jayalo mulla project will ninkuja malle would la, Nito konde kabindanga jo kulga nyanka moro. I tell me no no you are too patriotic for me, so I gotta go do other things elsewhere. But we still gotta do what we gotta do. But ni wol ko be findi la ite muro ite ko wala sabotage ko point mol min fombe soronde ite mom bala fa wol fon. We hani jawo na be soronde fon. So ko mom yalan ko ke mom man suñarake amam mo la fenda amam mo nakari amam mo bondala palaso do tilimbali yakan amam mo lipa amam hani fengo fenge bara mo
Joran Tabul.
sakunda mi
In fact,
yalon
he was even walking. He was even walking footpath. You know, when he was
imagine Mansa
got
Kunda
arrested.
mi yalon ko be auditor general boni la tilimbali yakan Mansa Kunda min kan tolla state enterprise sol wafu Mansa Kunda min kan ni so wafu keme konondola Mansa Kunda mi yalon ko kamoto wafu wuli lulula Mansa Kunda mi yalon ko mo be nyaba la jang even if e donto roke fo say mo bugala fike donto ko den e ka jojol jo ko la mi yalon ka ma approve national assembly fan follow a foren
Yeah,
dolla ko yaaja mela saji korel saji ol be fatale dak moro
yeah.
ebo fono la jumale nyim banko kan
Thousands of
mo
cattle.
be nyaabole ko moto fola moli mimbo fo kam fana ito ko hani tele nyanta fola nita ma fo do mo man nyana fola it's always about see me it's always about ntelom atolo mo jumale moro kabirin kato nyanda kelal nyanda karalal fo ngayel alkana moli yam atole amna kom kana si gabo ko hali ngendel be protest ka pour moli la ko di atole amna rom baraka diya alma alkana moli yam
So,
hey
go for kila moja sende.
okay eh
You listen.
pare ina kara ka bo dole ko inal kana findi so ma dunda ja ko da jani kamana mimbe be keri ko banko kay tol nyamoje.
Yeah.
If I see people jumping and they say they support NPP, oh, boy, boy, I have nothing against NPP. I have nothing against any politician whatsoever. Why deka bi dañ ko wara tek ci yoon deka bi teguñ ko ci yoon deka bi ay samba bu ya fa bari ay sacca kat dafa bari nguur ngi ci sacca la lalu tilimbal ya ni tapal ya drong ñi ka bara wala so nim mo fo no moro manta to nya fa la ñoy
Yeah, I think
you
Omar,
know
I think Gambians have to come together and then Pulka Joko, I mean they speak on one voice. Because young folks what they're actually calling for is genuine. Look at this Russia oil scandal the government disregard
and the
the entire
government
report.
disregard the reports
Yeah.
and
So
we know some of these ministers
in
mo
fact
die battery
I
and
think what they
tilimbal
should
ya
have
min to
done I think what they should have done, they should even select a committee. They should actually establish a committee to look into it further.
This
You know?
government never care about accountability. They set up all these committees. They have extended the mandate of this National Assembly committee. But of course, new will final report or body, they will reject it outright. Nyini man sula fenna puri tilingo ninto nya tama Gambia moro. Ini moka futa tembo dodo ha? Alanga finti no balamba tandi ko tonya sabadi molla banko ka. Nyima masa kundala kuriada masa kundal timene na sodona Gambia. They have no regard for Gambians and they don't care about the plight of Gambians. Moro nyini kantani tebe jibelo ko saji ko le ko min be fata. So wala tina Gambian ko nyanta finti la ka tandi ko tonya ni tilingo sabadi molla banko ka. This is not about politics and your partisan politics, even though it has everything to do with politics because it's governance. But then we have to put partisanship aside and make sure that we stand up for this country. Do we really love this country? Do we really see what is happening in our country and we still think that we are patriots and then we sit back and say, ah, karanyo lebe ni masa kunda keleka. Al nyabe tonya, al nyabe tilimbali al kalbe deri woka. Police fula fata jan sanje fula minta mira wala. Muso na adoma be sorondi mobe ya longo tonya ni tilungo mantama je. Mobe be deri. Iko almamo lebe obango ka mini alongo dina dunkelle modi lara alala they will speak about murids in Senegal but they will see injustice in the Gambia and they will all shut up on it. Adol lara ala jumalla. There were some series of cases here that we've seen people in religious denominations talk through to the government. But nya bala la ko muslim dingo na dobe surrounding sanjifula ali ya lonko ye mol fa nyimba go kam ya lonko ye fatti tilimbali an intajirinte yala ka but nobody dares to open a lid. We've seen the level of corruption. We've seen 70 children killed in this country due to government malgovernance and of course corrupt malpractices that led to the death of over 70 children through a cough syrup. But the case is in court and nothing is being done about it. Where is justice in this country under this regime? We've seen the same regime kill 3 people in Faraba Banta Mobebe Dering Kokuta Kering. Nitara na bada le mola dingiral beti nyay musola gadinol beti nyay mola bankol wafi foy dol bije katalay da maltima. Imagine a government that is proactive. Ika amira ko mansa kunda dunia be banna itol jamano la kafo mole ko all the lands that were actually taken from Jamme, government did not need all of them and they sold them. How about the next government? Will it not need land? How
Yeah.
about the government after that one? Will it not need land?
Mm-hmm.
When we know that the land tenure system in the Gambia was not actually premised on government owning land. Land is actually owned by communities. So the
Yeah.
mondingol mi yalon katole utana ya jamabulu instead of coal muta masakunda bulu kaje ko masakunda utilize bi anin sama anin sininding ali ol mutali abe wa falda mali ya bata mbedo ni mo koto ngol yemolla na fulo beta ya di la sungudo le murun tayna ro fudu kara si molla commission de kabo no wrongdoing will be found. Imagine selling a cow for 900 de kabo mole no wrongdoing will be found. Ini obora ko yote musumbalti.
No.
These people need to be called out. People need to tell them what they did is wrong. We cannot continue to be silent to say that, I'm a self-protectionist, I'm acting all big. There is nothing to act big on when you have a country that is being destroyed by pests. This regime is a pest regime that definitely need to be accountable.
No, but Umar, I believe there are culprits. I don't think they are doing it alone, because when you look at the issue of sand mining in Kombosa, predominantly it is done in consultation with the Council of Elders and then the VDCs. They are the one that are at the center of all these things. I can remember vividly. I mean, 10 years ago, nka konton sama bama garden water knock alto, ye mako baro ni kuka water. I mean, everything has phased out now.
Now
With zero compensation.
They are left with the insupportable burden of environmental degradation. Because hani la baludla from ya betinya. Hani domoro from sa kolea moloma. Imagine you mean control ko mane boto ba kala mole 7 8 900 that the cement boto lo 7 8 sign. So imagine they mistaking a bag of cement for a bag of rice. Gambia muna dad yaraje, and they are monopolizing all these sectors for people who are major funders of the NPP. Moro bara nyuma sa kundala kontrol ko ya jame electoral laws fali nekake kuti mi alon ko Gambia dingol taxo nola. And what did they do? Within 8 years they recycle back to those electoral laws. Ya jame from official Adam Barona Masakunda at some point. These people brought us back to those electoral laws where you are asking people to pay 2 million, 1 million, whatsoever. For what? You know? It was never even in his wildest mind to go and pick accountant the auditor general.
No, it doesn't make sense at the end of the day. I don't think government. It's just that they want to use their machineries to.
No, they are testing themselves, and this is the litmus test that Gambians must now accept, that we accept dictatorship, or we actually make sure that we respect our democratic gains. Tomorrow will show if Gambians really want a dictatorship or they want to respect their democratic gains. It's not about Sise, it's about the position he holds. It's about our constitution. It's about defending the Gambia. It's not about the individuals. Just like some people think it should be about them. No, it's never going to be about you. It's going to be about the Republic of the Gambia. It's never going to be about people putting your photos up to say, oh, yeah, jambar fan. Ale mun jambar te fula kaja. Era lo kapu ko, pura al mulla internet ro data la drum. Yeda muda yedu ni modo ko tare sindi yekungoli. Wala jambar ya. Alon Gambia no founder ka mul muda jambar de mini alon ko mo mala. That gives wala kela ego excellent to a point that their TCS begin to get too small that they think they can attack anybody and everybody.
I remember during their discussion with Pura, I remember, the director of Pura, what is his name again? The director of Pura.
Hey, Njokuba,
famous side language, he was like this. I mean, what we are doing is bullshit, because you conniving with GSMs, tariff increase.
Yeah, sometimes it was deliberate. They want to tax all this money to actually get it to government. Ni masa kunda man kodi soto kotenge. Ni aje koi beta gamtel wafula wale be mola port dila mo kotengol le beta mola bridge dila mo kotengol. Ni ni Gambia wafula for the next 20 years, because the bridge, those people who are operating the bridge, for how long are they going to operate it?
25. I believe it's 25.
25 years. So they paid government a lot of money so that they can continue doing their things. The government is so indebted that ni tara dawo da kodi ni nka fon loka Gambia masa kunda no takodo dila wala. So wale atina they are coming up with all this dry port they are going to put in Sanyang. They are going to run it for 30 years. So for the next 30 years, 25 years, Mansakunda Benala, they are going to be running on deep deficit. They are going to be running on begging, simply because ni Mansakunda be tapalean in Tilimbalia Mola Bankoka. Nini Bota Watoa. Montaka Mola Jacabo America Gambia wake again Funu boy. That Sankara will retain his position without being substituted, without being replaced while he is studying in India.
Yeah. It's sad. It's sad.
Moranin told me at some point you have to take study leave to leave.
Yeah.
But people, and then somebody got to replace your position.
Yeah.
If you come, you do some, but you retain a position. You go on a vacation with your position.
And you'll be paid.
You go on studies with your position.
You'll be paid with taxpayers' money.
You know, Master Kundar in Tolko lafta minna na Bangkoka. Niya for Alman Lafi Gambia, Alman Lafi Barola Master Kundala. Moro. Moma mo konjang baral tilingon into nyata mandi. Tilimbaliala dlan na tambira. And then if you continue to look at, oh no, I don't like the opposition, you are liking the worst breed of people in our country. This kakistocratic regime is not built on anything. Jumal lebeje. Who are the people advising Baro? The worst in our society. Amanke jutunayade bara wala futa Gambia bet. Who are the people in this government? These are people that you think that some of them are smart. Well, but ni alam minister la karamonyo ni mokotong ni alam mo boy. You disappointed. But the fact is, education is beyond just getting a degree. Go and write a dissertation on bombing in Brikama Yamara ko wom karamal. Ni afo moli afo ko kudo lam bar tonya ni tinu mandra tama ka jimbanko ka. Soon Suluto le benim banko kan. Jumala be bank sana. Like yeah, Jame bought a bank for like 900 million. 10 years later, Barrow's regime sold the bank for 900 million. Moro, economically, does that make any sense?
No, bank appreciate.
In any mundo, there's a banko sang be banko like banko ngasan $10 be after 10 years ngawa for $10.
It appreciate
But
definitely.
again, you tell us that Jammeh took all the lands in the Gambia. You went to, Ali all lands all beta at Brufut Heights, Ali Talal da Maltem. The ministers wala baraka dan tenitet.
No, but for the cool out of the month of
Poko
Jamaica.
pare batam bedu mo tapale ba. Only talk on the list of ministers. Ita toje la je kala burodal toje je. Wala naka ko no wrongdoing will be found because because he knew from the beginning that he is criminal and he was doing all those criminal doing. But again, let's think about it. Moro ninta ko I would, okay, let's say, which I would never anyway. If I tell you I got like a very promising international job that pays me a hell lot of money that Gambia can
No,
never
you gotta get that. You gotta get that. So
I'm not talking about getting, like I'm talking about leaving it to actually come to Gambia.
Oh, I got you.
No, anyway, I wouldn't do that for any reason. Boy, nkana nyo nakaringa tonya fo nyo edro. Ndaka na do ko bula lang kong kara do ko la masakunda le Gambia. At this stage, no. But the fact is, if I leave that job, an international job, and went back to Gambia to work for the government of the Gambia, I'm not a sacrifice. But within that period, I catapult myself to a position, use that position to look for another international job, and went and left the Gambia's job and went to that international job. Did you really leave to come and work for the Gambia?
No.
Buy what I can tell you. International they are more they are satisfied, they don't need any money from us. They came back to the country, used the ministry to catapult and position themselves high up there, apply to international job. Meanwhile, they rob us of everything that Jammeh had got and then run away with the money and of course went to get international jobs. Wala ka fon tol ko itol mo patriot tol let. Inyo mo kurun na ba sodoring.
No, justice will come someday. This is what I always tell people.
We will know who killed the cops.
Junglers will be in Sembo Bay Jambera time. Be if they have land without following due process, those land can be taken from them without even doing anything. So that's why we gotta be patient a bit. We gotta be patient a bit. Time will come, another commission will be constituted, and then all these things will be recovered.
That is the same thing I tell some police officers who think that they are it all mabal that they are untouchable. They will go.
But you're not going to get five bags. I mean, can not going to kill them. Come far back.
Yeah, be like I don't go check a five more. Don't do yala from the killing man.
Don't get one.
No more job. After ondo kiri ngulo bulu for you. Ndanga amere tol fisi yada la bari nyilla from job yada mo be.
And alubado ma fon so mo dai ay budon wala nicely.
Yeah. I don't even understand. But tilimbali an intajin inte yadrom because sembo le be tol bulu. Moro ngala be mobile to nyabe tamala lumbe
no amal java
kundala kundata wala ku fonto da bare nin dongol min ka finde ko kana si police station kan to lan dongol to ku ya albert denkala la wara nali ya janjong so dia mo kana mi wodo ko denkel
no that one we should not actually give a breeding area for them to actually go ahead.
So we call on every respectable young man who knows that something fundamentally flawed is happening in the Gambia to come out and show their dissatisfaction. Entolla ke monyol ni mo ko dongol mi muta minike sabotage du maka kalkol ka fa lal kanaje moralata ndi wala konko ntol buka nyinke moy we are not doing anything for Kemo, we are not doing anything for another person. We care about the good of this country and we will come out to show our dissatisfaction. Minikate fa samboya and kan mo sola.
No, let me even put this cross because
we don't care about those people going to police station to be asking that leka na yena ñuy andil leka yen nga fekk ñun ñuy dunda ngeen dina lek kan mo sola leka dimbale len ñu dem len tok seen kër yi bala ngeen di dem tok ci police station di ñu jow fofu noonu.
It's painful looking at the likes of Kemo, the cybers minial nako, at least they have done something for themselves when you come
to NPB resa wolon de kam wala
it's so ridiculous. These are the people minial nako, if they want to go out of the country the next minute they can go and focus on themselves.
It's not even next minute, they can leave that police station and straight into America. Who cares? And then who cares? Who loses? Who cares about anything?
Yeah, definitely.
I'm on for Dundulala, I'm on for Kekola. So what is the point?
Definitely.
So mon mi yalo ko min ika mo le fon jibe min ka fo ke kele fon yo le fon jibe fon moro alama jabo da di ala marché fon man tolman sula mo la go fon mi la de
it's a lot for the country
nalbe diam la mo ma sa kanyang nalbe ko matili mbalo fo mo la kanyang nalisa mo fon kon nalisa kanyang di but pretending to be liking people and going to a police station to talk shit about them and calling people underground telling them what kana jana adunda jabo da jana yo yep ay jiko nafekala
Definitely.
You know,
That should be condemned.
You know,
It should be condemned, definitely. I think even I wasn't surprised though, because Killa made the same remarks. I mean, when the first protesters were arrested, you know, he amanyang famanyang kanon domol laba. Ako mol kana findi sa one day be the arrest la ko and stuff like that. So what I want to put across is
yung kongkotol la kulubali afon nyanda dan na kelala. Ndadum man detu la jede. Momi yalon ko modi la kodo kafun kafun nyola ya ditala ida man mira folo fenna folo fokata boga samala. Yala waya tandila fon ida hakilo we domol la kam. Dolman konkode. Dolman sula fenna mo bulde. So you know Allah kulubali adia mo nalba kan alba da domon nal because ni one thing ntol we will identify ngo minal tarala lo terrain neto nal ya diandi. Dolman ke konkodi ngol tide ñun duñ ay samba boy bu len ñu yab lolu rek lañ am pour wax ak boy yoyu nonu. Because you know trying to undermine people is the height of hypocrisy. Ani parede ko be fon fen ken de bukale kam angale kan si fala fal da kono kuma buka fono je kam na mol mi yalon ko ponsele ba faare ngi da kon ala na mulu al kal ka kuma tilima ngo ilo grupo fon be fon e be la fam wala ko kuma la fono mo be mi moy foko parado ka ka molle undermine ro ka kuma tilimba do fo molle adol mu jumal det adol be diamu la mo buka lon fam fal ka eni mbila fam fal ba wof la la ko ino konko tol ko lo bali anale o tilin tol la de nalbe benna jele ino nga nakindi nyola ngal bad la somal be min fola sinen nga kutande ko ndol la baratalti moro ngana tay mo jani bake man kon debe dami nyina ko kangena stress le so
no ngo
you know parandala nongol de kay no nga gambe ko le dugara so may findi fane mo la fo so ma dugare ino fiti e bala mbaya tandide oh this ones are trying to sabotage ndolla ta ko galam ko libe min kay be tinngola kam
definitely
and ibuka mo la dulatey ibuka beresika ibuka mo neng e ka folo ko masakunda tilingo nin tonya tamandi wo man tana ya hanu dulato
definitely
and kemo du mota folo ko kemo len tonye mo fi wax lele kemo day rafetal rek.
Very, very peaceful
But
guy.
even in our organization, sometimes I feel like, you know what? No, we can't do this. We got to cut this crap. It's like, no, take it easy, man.
Yeah, definitely. So,
You know?
I mean, these are comrades, they are in need right now. And then the only thing that we should be saying, or we should
If we
be
can't
doing right
support
now,
them, yeah.
it's just to back them, support them. You know, they are comrades in need right now. And then we have to stand in solidarity with them.
And we don't need anybody to go to the police station. Kemo knows he's in the police station and he's okay there. Whatever is going to happen, continue the fight for accountability and justice. Kemo told them clearly, this is not about me. I don't need you to come here. Go and talk about what is right. Go and tell government to do right. Ni benta mutala yamuta wanya be bulije. But to nyamu mintin tolbe ka min kelal tale tawo kelal bona nyim police station to jankana si janka val nar dom. Ntolman sula domor la jang. Ntolman sula ka vo kwale na si janka alfon fenkendi janko al balafa. Ntolman ke balafa dignity.
Exactly.
You know, we came out, we know why we came out, not because we need anybody to come and tell us what we got to do at the police station. Go out there and continue that struggle. Tell this government to do right. That is what every Gambian need to do. Nobody needs you to come and tell us, oh no, you know, the man you see in Kemo. And look, you don't need to call people. I talk to Kemo every day. We do everything together. So we don't need you to call to say Kemo Mungini. Kemo is in that prison or wherever he is. We still got to know what we got to do. So we don't need anybody to tell us that. Go out there and tell government to do right. It's not about the person they are removing. It's about the position in which he is being removed. It's about what legal basis the president has. Moro, make a minister. Focus on moke minister. By force, let us make a minister. Yani mala fikira minister. Yani by force, make a minister.
Yeah, but
so yana say where attendile ko kule benyi molto.
Exactly.
Gambian ko
In fact, as far as somebody didn't approve, actually, as far as somebody didn't consent the application, I don't know why government was in a haste to publish that.
No. If you even tell me, if you tell me I want if you tell me I want you to go to this position, go so my kaito and the kaito accept or disapprove. I disapprove. That's finished.
Yeah.
But even if I had applied for the job, you interviewed me for the job, I accepted the job in that instant. You send me the document and I rejected in that document. It's still within my rights.
Yeah.
Let alone you tell me I want you to get this position. I said, okay, in I maslaha because in the president's face, you cannot tell him no, I don't want that position.
No.
Then they give you the official offer. You looked at it. You are long. These people are trying to trick this guy. Yeah. The government is very manipulative.
And the public has done something great there because if not the public pressure,
if not for the public pressure, maybe the guy would have gone because he defended Mabo kan wote Mabola.
Yeah.
Gambian ko be lola sise fele kajo ko tonya ni timo tama at audit level. This government hates accountability. This government hates to be audited, and this government is the most corrupt that ever existed in our country. Moro nga dawo do man kay fitro fela sida fon yalon.
Yeah, ngo. Kamo serious, but nongo
You
start
know?
na findale. Ita solidarity show for.
Yeah, apo phone ngele findi, you know, because nyindolo ko itol ka molle boy ko de ka molle kuma ne ka fo kana na puri endala bol wole to surrounding. Apo ko wota kela. Gambia manke itol tati, afo ko itol la dual man jabi moti jang.
No, that's sad. That's sad
Tol man ke
statement.
sada dingol ti dem mo buka kodi mobilization tol yede. E kana mol yabu. To
Definitely.
nyani tilongon tol buka moto nyen tol buka kuma tilimbal fo mo moro. Kabiri mol nyanta bunyala tol nge bunyale.
Yeah.
Kabiri mol nyanta respect la tol nge respect le. Bara kabiri mol nyanta dala kara mo tol dala kara mo tol. Kabiri mol nyanta la, you know, whatever they need to establish to get their things going, Kemo and others in tolong woke junale.
Yeah.
So mota will be atara, you know, iton malon tol where we started from, ite afo mole ko ite ka ikan tol undermine purun tol bole to prison o man ke jowi afamat ita ma mol min fango long ita mol ma ko no woli ita ma ko puri ita bondi bi ita ko ita ko ka bol la ko puri wol sorom imbol mam betea
That's sad. That's
e
really.
jari nyokan je ko ngawla wulin ningol
But even dollar killer, you know.
am tatala
All right.